everyone, Sabrina on the third part of composting. Okay, I'm going to read some of this just to make sure I don't miss anything, but I made some notes and I'm going to link my Gmail, so if you want a copy of the notes, just email me. But basically, composting, it's the rot of organic materials. There's brown carbon, green carbon that we both need. My dog's playing with my box. Okay, the brown is the bulk, the carbon, and the food for the organisms. Examples are sawdust, my neighbor's leaves that they're going to keep giving to me. Paper, I do a lot of paper. I just don't do the shiny, waxy paper. Okay, twigs, I try to break them down. Depends how fast you want things to go. Green, the nitrogen. This is what you really need to get your plants going. So composting takes the nitrogen away for a little while, so make sure you keep adding green if you need to, and I'm going to go over it. Green means the rich nitrogen, the protein. It's the muscle for the plant. It's necessary for heating the pile. It helps with the microorganisms, and they help multiply and grow these microorganisms. Grass, eggshells, coffee is my favorite. Manure, food waste, seaweed, weeds. Every time I weed, I just throw them in my compost. I have several compost places. Okay, you need 4 main ingredients. You need the green, the brown, water, not too much water. It should be just damp, you know, like a damp sponge, and air. If you cover your compost, don't worry about air. Worms are going to get the air to it. Okay, number 1. 2, there's 2 types of composting, or the basic ones I'm going to. There's hot composting and the cold composting. The hot is really quick. It can be done in 3 weeks. Huggy! He's eating my plants. I had to bring him in. It got too cold. Obviously, he likes dill. So, you should show him real quick. So, basically, this is great, especially if you want sterile soil. Okay, it'll get rid of all the bads. It'll, there are little or no seeds after you do it, which is good, especially if you use manure. It takes 3 to 4 weeks, as long as you do it properly. I'm going to go over the ratio. And it heats it up 120, 130 to 150 degrees. So I use black containers, like I said right here. So I just fill it with a ratio of 6 brown to 1 green, and I just keep layering it, and I just keep turning it. If you put a lid on this, make sure there's holes still. It needs that air. You could let the kids shake it around. Okay, cold composting. Well, let's go over the bad too. In the hot composting, you're not going to have worm castings. If there's any worms, they're goners. Got a little too hot for them. Okay, so, and you're also going to lose some of the really nice microbes that you really want to feed your soil. But if you take hot composting and you mix it with some old cold or right on the soil, it'll absorb back into it. Okay, cold composting, the good. Provides more nutrition. Worms love it, so you get the worm castings. Beneficial microbes, organisms, less time, doesn't have to be exact. So you can make a 3x3, put it out there, just keep adding to it. Doesn't have to be the proper ratio. It would help if it was the proper ratio, but anybody could do it, okay? The bad, slow process. It could take months, if not a year, or even longer. Not sterile, has seeds and weeds and such. Okay, 3, let's talk about the ratio. Oh, wait, I did want to say on this one for the fast compost, remember on the first video I was chopping and blending my stuff? The best way to make this go faster is to liquefy your food waste. Just pour it in and it goes quick. I mean, like, you could almost do 2 weeks. Okay? Okay, the ratio. Compost ratio is the C and the N. C means brown. The N, nitrogen, is the green. Hot composting. It's a 6 to 1. So if you had like 6 cups of brown, you want 1 cup of green, and vice versa. You know what I mean? As far as, let's say you have 3 gallons of brown, you want 1 gallon of green, okay? This is perfect to heat it up, okay? Cold composting, 25 to 1, because that's easy. You take a whole bunch of leaves. Every time you get food compost, that's a bucket of that, okay? At the end, you should smell like dirt, sweet. And I'm gonna show you some examples of this, okay? If it is too smelly, you need to add too much green. You have too much green, so you need to add some brown. If it won't decompose, you have too much brown, you need to add some green, okay? So I'm gonna show you. This is almost composting, and I'm gonna just kind of pour it so you can see it. Can you see it's not broken down? There's something there. There's a worm in it. Can you zoom in? Okay. Avocado, eat a lot of avocados. That's all there. This is almost composting, but not there. The second one, and this is the level that I use when I put on top of my thing. I don't wait to the third one. It's still got a little leaves. I really don't see any food products. It's crumbly, falls apart. The last one, and this is the one that I use when I pop my stuff. Look at this. It's just like gold to me. They call it black gold. Okay, so you could see the 3 right here. Still some food here. A lot of worms in there. This is pretty much done. Neither of these 2 stink. This one still smells a little bit, but not in a bad way. It's just like it's just not done. Okay? Okay, so, by the way, in my kitchen, this is what I throw my food scraps in. I'm not going to open it because it looks horrible. But every day I fill it, and when it's done, it seals tight, and I'll send a link to this trash can, but anything like it, then you just take the bucket out and go dump it. Or you blend it like I do. Okay, so, okay, we're only talking cold composting right now, okay? The direct method. Okay, direct method means that you trench it, or my raised beds, you just pour it in there. So basically, for every, bed composting, you basically have 1 inch. Oh, I'm sorry, let me recap that. Okay, trench composting, dig 12-inch compost, a quarter, fill it with a quarter of compost, okay? And then a compost of a little leaves, a little quarter. So basically the ratio is 12 inches, 6 inches of scraps and leaves and all that. You could do your figure out, and then cover it with 6 inches soil. You don't have to mess with it. It'll be ready quickly. Okay, container composting, like I did here, and I have my food scraps here. Okay, you're gonna fill it a quarter inch with, or quarter inch, not inch, quarter way with soil, then a 1/4 of the scraps, and then the rest you're gonna put soil. So that'll take care of that. Bed composting. And oh, I'm really messing this up. You're gonna add an inch. Let's say like my herb garden, I just wanna add an inch of green. So let's say chopped up weeds or this, probably not this so much. And then you're gonna put 2 to 3 inches of leaves. And then what you're gonna do, remember I boiled some artichokes, I took the water, every once in a while sprinkle it because you gotta get nitrogen back in there. Or you take the coffee grounds and you sprinkle it around weekly, and then it'll decompose, okay? All right, now, indirect method. Indirect is you need like a 3 by 3 area on the ground and you just pile it up. You could take a pitchfork, turn it around. Some people take chicken wire and just make a circle, a 3 by 3 or a 2 by 2, fill it up, and then flip it every now and then, okay? And large trash can, that's what I do also. You saw it outside in the second video, just fill it up. I never turn that one, it's just too hard. But I'm not gonna use it for a while, okay? Except for the worms love using it. Okay, the uses. When I transplant, and I've shown you transplants before, and I take these out, this is store-bought, same flower, my white impatiens. You're gonna see a lot of those this summer. These are ones that I retransplanted 50% of this compost in my garden soil. These are the ones that I didn't. Same plant. Great for the compost. Okay, you can see what a difference it makes. Okay, if you have containers or your garden, you're going to put 2 to 3 inches of compost on it. And then maybe later in the summer you could add more if you have enough. Basically that just waters down and leaches in, okay? So you just want to compost because it's the right thing for the environment, but you don't have plants. Maybe you have a couple trees, you could put it around the tree. It's okay. You could take it and sprinkle it in the yard and let it fertilize the yard. Okay, can you over-vitamin your plants? Yeah, just like us. Don't give it too much. You won't get the correct amount of fruit, flowers, and other stuff. So this is summary. I had a great time. Is composting for everybody? No. Is it necessary? No. But it's a good choice for the environment and me. Bye. And like me, subscribe me, and I really appreciate all of you.